He held it in. Lightning in trouble here. Shankly cradles it, sends it up, scores!
What for you excites you most about this team right now?
Well, I think it's that. I think that we're as excited as you are in training camp to see your team play. We've had 7 guys, just as recently as now 7 players that are regulars that did dress or could have dressed opening night that haven't been in our lineup for an extended period of time. So I think that gives you a level of excitement, moving forward here, from that standpoint. But again, it's a day-to-day type thing. Like, you can never get too high, you can never get too low. You have to approach things on an even keel.
When you look at the injuries that this team has had to deal with, it's obviously been a hot topic. A number of teams, obviously, across the league, it's something that they have to deal with as well. But there had been a lot of speculation, or maybe even questions, externally at least, as to whether or not there needed to be some moves made in terms of roster move, bring in some help, considering some of the players that have been sidelined and the role that they play with the group.
Well, there's always an opportunity cost. Certainly you make those phone calls. You're on top of who might be available, might not be available.
I knew you were going to say that.
But some of the again, as a manager, sometimes you're making guys available that are going to throw you an anchor as opposed to lifeline. So it's one of those things where you also have to look at that. You bring someone in, it's an opportunity cost that maybe someone within your organization that you never knew could step up, steps up. And that we've used 19 different forwards this year. To this point, we've used 9 different defensemen. I remember everyone clamoring at the beginning of the year saying they got too many defensemen. You can never have too many defensemen. And not everybody can play every night, but it's that competition, it's that opportunity for that next man to step up, has served us well. Bowness was adamant, like, this is an opportunity. We're not here to make excuses, we're here to find solutions, and that's really what they've been trying to do.
So with that in mind then, when everyone's speculating about it, did you give it any more consideration than you would have at any other point in time, or was it a wait and see? Because you obviously took the right approach.
You don't know who's available. You don't know what's going to be available. But then also you have to respect the fact that we're hopeful that we're going to get some of these guys back here in short order. You have to have the cap space then. So you can go out and someone might offer you their $6 million player for a song or something like that. But then you've got to have that space to replace them. We like the group when it's all healthy. We'd like to see it all healthy and see where we're at.
Don't give up the red line. That's it.
There was so much talk, obviously, about the hiring of this coaching staff led by Rick Bowness. And that was, when you look at it, really the big off-season decision or move by this organization. Bones has been a lifer in the NHL. Everyone knows him. But is there anything about him that has either surprised you or really stood out to you in these first few months?
So I guess it goes back to even, when we had the exit meetings at the end of last season and we had a lot of heart-to-hearts with a lot of players and listening to what they wanted, what their vision or what their thoughts were on a person to lead the group would be. And as I continued to talk to Bones and listen to him and understand him in his philosophies, it became pretty apparent that it was going to be a good match. He's the type of guy that he's firm but fair. He's been around the game for a long time. He's seen it all. No one's going to pull the wool over his eyes, with respect to anything. And he's direct. Like he's as I've watched over the course of the beginning part of the season here, doesn't let things just fester. If there's something that needs to be addressed, he addresses it right away. And I think the guys really appreciate that, and they know where he stands and on a lot of different issues. And it's not always pleasant conversations, but I think that they're always fair and direct. And I think that's been the signature of what he has been. It's how I heard he's been, and certainly he's done a great job here.
How much do you appreciate that?
Well, again, you're not in the dressing room, so it's hard to know the ins and outs and how things act. You see if you seriously watch a practice with Bones and look at how he does it, he does a lot of his teaching on the ice. He'll skate up to guys and have one-on-one conversations with them, and and it's stuff maybe that him and I will have talked about at different points and times in our conversations. So it's interesting. It's you learn. I said during the hiring process, one of the things that really helped me was growing by talking to other coaches and talking to getting their philosophies, interviewing them. It was a growing process and a learning process for me as well.
Appreciate the time.
Thank you.